Welcome to another value vintage gameplay video here. Today we're trying out black, green, rock style Goblin Charbelcher. As you can see here, if you're new to value vintage, it's the same rules as vintage with the restricted list, etc., but your whole deck has to be under $30 like ours is right here on Moxfield at the time of, deck submission into a tournament. Or for me when I put together the jam games on Magic Online. The basic idea is, I think we'll, do the view with the cards. I like the view with the cards more. But you can take a look at this and freeze it if you want to actually read the list. The goal is to win the game with Goblin Charbelcher. So you can play it for 4 mana, you activate it for 3, it deals damage equal to until you reveal a land card to your opponent. So if you have no land cards in your deck, it just kills your opponent right away by hitting them for all the cards in your deck, so probably like 40 damage. And how we get away with not playing any lands is we are only playing lands that have something else on the front. So we've got Bridgeworks Battle, which is a removal spell on the front, land on the back. Boggart Trawler, a creature in graveyard hate on the front, land on the back. Blackbloom Rogue, creature on the front, land on the back. We've also got Channel and Talisman of Resilience to ramp into Goblin Charbelcher and fix our. This one also fixes our mana, getting black and green there. Channel is restricted. We can own vintage, so we can only play one of these in this format because this is value vintage. Same rules. That does let us just get 7 mana right away for Goblin Charbelcher. Tangled Florahedron is a cool one. It is a land on the back, and on the front side we can just play it for 2 to ramp into a Belcher, which is pretty cool. Dark Ritual, which obviously to get ramp into Belcher. 1 Soul Ring, again restricted. And Revitalizing Repast, which is a pretty cool tech card, giving things +1/+1 kind of indestructible, and this one is nice that it can tap for black and green. We've got all these cards that actually make mana and are lands on the back, but none of them are lands on the front, so we activate Goblin Charbelcher in our deck and we just kill our opponent, as long as they're under 40 life or whatever. That's the idea here. We're just playing also a mid-range game plan. We have a real mana base here. We can just play the game and try and win. So we do have this combo here. So if we have Goblin Charbelcher and we play it, resolve it, and activate it, we win the game. But we also just are playing a rock deck as well. So we have just beaters. So Ursine Monstrosity here. That's a very cool card. This one's new. It's Trample. Beginning of your turn, you mill a card. It becomes indestructible, and it gets +1/+1 for each card type in your graveyard. So it's sort of like a Tarmogoyf-ish sort of card, but it already starts at 3/3 and has Trample and has indestructible when it attacks. And it attacks for at least a 4/4. If you only have 1 card type in your graveyard, it's going to be a 4/4. It's usually going to be a 5/5, a 6/6, or a 7/7. Indestructible Trample. It's only 3 mana. That seems quite strong. Grist, great removal spell, making tokens. The Boggart Trawlers, the rogues, these can also just be creatures that we beat down with. These are very legitimate front sides if you don't need the land. And we got Abrupt Decay is a great removal spell that's cheap. Bloodchief's Thirst, another great removal spell. Inquisition of Kozilek for disruption. Then we've got Ayara's Oathsworn and Bronco. Bronco's a really good draw engine and card advantage piece, and if you crew it, it can also deal quite a bit of damage. There aren't any lands in your deck, so if you crew this and swing, your opponent is taking at least 1 extra, which is pretty cool. On the flip side, doesn't mean if you don't crew it, you're definitely taking damage, so you got to be a little careful there. That's a strong one, and that helps us to dig to find our Belchers. Same thing with Ayara's Oathsworn. This can deal damage a couple times, and then we get to search for a card like, you named it, Goblin Charbelcher. We can find our Goblin Charbelchers. Or if we need mana or removal, etc., we can find that instead. It's also just a pretty nice menace, growing creature. Remember to like and subscribe, by the way. Helps, grow the channel and, draws attention to these value vintage videos I'm doing, which is kind of new, and would like to keep doing these. Bit of a different audience though, so any sort of likes, comments, subscribes, all that kind of interaction helps me keep doing this, and that's appreciated. I don't think the algorithm likes that I've sort of split my content at the moment, but this is a fun format, so I'm just going to keep doing it anyway. What have I not covered yet? So that's basically the idea. We didn't do Jecht. So Jecht's a really fun one. I played this a good amount actually in Vintage, and done like regular full-powered Vintage, and it's done quite well. This is a lot stronger than it looks. Yeah, I think it's kind of underlooked in formats. One, because Barrowglyph exists, and Barrowglyph's sort of like this, but 3 mana. This one costs 4, but it's also very strong. It's 4/3 menace. When it deals damage once, you flip it into this giant 7/7 menace with, your opponent discards cards, you draw cards. So like when it flips a happens, then it goes to your turn, it happens again. And then the 3 here is your opponent sacrifices 2 creatures. So this is just a very strong card. So, along with the Ursine Monstrosity, we've got the Jechts we can just kind of win with. And these, are very reasonable mid-range creatures too. Like, even if you're not going to win with the Belcher plan, you can draw into Abrupt Decays, you can draw into Bloodchief's Thirst, etc. And just, this is also removal, by the way. This gets your creature to fight. So if you don't need the land, you can just have your creatures fight opponent's creatures, which works really well with the giant Ursine Monstrosity. It's indestructible, by the way. So this can very easily just like play a mid-range rock plant. We don't even need the Belcher, to be honest. Obviously you want the Belcher, it's the whole point of the deck, but you can play a game plan without it, which I think is very cool with all these modal double face lands. Sideboard's pretty standard. We got Graveyard Hate, anti-combo, anti-control hate. Not really hate, just sort of extra. Disruption to hit counterspells, that kind of thing. And then Damping Sphere for some of the degenerate combo decks. There's quite a few of those, I realized, running around in Value Vintage, and this card seems great. I do have 4 extra spots here. I had like 40 cents, I think, and I wasn't sure what to do and just kind of wanted to start playing. That's what we're going to do. But, if prices go up or whatever, then, it'd be nice to have the extra 40 cents. Obviously, the market prices fluctuate, so, things go up and down. All right, anyway, got any ideas or whatnot, let me know down below or during the video. Always happy to hear from people on, any sort of feedback or ideas. And I'll see you in round 1. All right, here we go. I guess so. Feels iffy. I feel like any hand without a Goblin Charbelcher is going to feel iffy though, so let's see if our mid-range plan can actually keep up, or if we're just woefully unprepared for the format with this current deck. They got 3 mana, that's scary. Oh, shoot. We could just be dead here. Jeez. No. We did not die. Not dying is quite good here. Yeah, that's fine. Dark Ritual. What is this? That seems pretty good. That seems very good. That seems like problematic good, doesn't it? I almost want to save my Bridgeworks Battle now to kill it. Which is awkward. That may be necessary. Alright, yeah, I think we have to save our Bridgeworks Battle to kill this thing. Yep. We are 1 mana short. I think we have to kill this though. I mean, that thing's really scary, right? I don't love this, but I don't think I have much of a choice. We're 1 mana short from, like, doing scary stuff. Sure. Interesting. I think we just want to try and draw a card here. Ooh, that hurt a little bit. Big draw step here. Let's see what they got. That is not a bad one. Cast on this one, guess. Which one's scarier? I think this one's scary. It's like the combo one, right? Alright. Let's go to game 2. Probably should have more removal on our sideboard. We do have 40 cents and 4 sideboard slots. I think before the next game I'll probably try and adjust this. I guess the Damping Spears are potentially kind of good. Like, what do I want to cut for that? The Caustic Broncos are a little risky with the you know, the let's try the Caustic Broncos, take those out and play the Damping Spears instead. Did I read Damping Sphere right? I think this works against them. We're about to take a crap ton of damage, but I think it's worth it. Ooh. I actually don't know if paying 3 life there does anything. I might try and pay 3 life just to see what happens. I don't know if this does anything. I actually don't know. It is relevant. I'll try it. No, doesn't do anything. Alright, fine. Do I kill that now? I don't know how scary that is. I'm just gonna kill it. Glad I took 3 damage for no reason. That was fun. Sure. Let's play this one. Sure. Sure. So it says menace. Menace. I think we want to do everything here. So we are going to Abrupt Decay this. And then we're going to play our Bronco. I don't think we care about the 1/1 token. Belcher, Belcher, Belcher. Glimpse. Yeah, seems good. Maybe I should have killed the stupid token. They could just win here. That will not win it. Okay. What do you got in your hand there? I see. They can play that. Interesting. Oh, I should have played one of these lands. We actually almost have Belcher ability here. Gonna be tough for them to cast another spell through Damping Sphere. That's why we brought them in. And we got there. Alright, good game. Alright, here we go. Yes. Um. It's kind of slow, huh? We don't have a Belcher. We don't have anything to do until turn 3, at least. Not great. I don't think it's a mull either. Ugh. I don't love it. Like, we've got a bunch of draws that do help us here. Uh-oh. Interesting. I don't know what we're up against. That is not what we want to draw. That one actually gets interesting, huh? I think we just pass for now. Or they dredge the Stinkweed Imp. Yeah, I regret this, that our hand doesn't do anything. I should have just mulliganed this. I feel like any hand without a Belcher is probably leaning on a mulligan. Like, not guaranteed, of course, but... Ooh. Ooh. That's... I think we have to play that. I think in case we draw a Belcher, we want that one. We've got enough aggro. I think we can... We got enough aggro. I think that's okay. Yeah, I could use another Boggart Trawler, actually. I forgot we had those main deck. That was well timed there. Yeah, they just reloading. It's not great for us. Mm-hmm. Alright, now I want my my thing back. We can play the Belcher. We have to survive this turn and their next turn, and they have to have no interaction. I feel like that's a tall request, isn't it? It'd be okay if I would have kept my Dark Ritual, but I don't know. They had three, I don't know, they had 3 Arclight Phoenix. I don't think we could have. They had 3 of these guys in the graveyard. They're all in exile now. We can't. Yeah, 1 Arclight, 2 Arclight. Okay, maybe just 2 Arclight Phoenixes, but still. Red Fred. Ox. Alright. I feel like our Belcher is going to be a turn too slow, fortunately. Yeah, we can't win this. I don't think. We have to attack here. Yeah, we can't. We have to attack with this guy, unfortunately. So we can hold back the Boggart to block the Ox, maybe. I think we're in trouble. Interesting game. I haven't seen a dredge deck thing before here. Why didn't they should have attacked with that one? So I have to attack with this guy. And we'll play this, and we have to just pray not to die, which I think isn't impossible. but we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna F6 here, and I assume they just kill us, but we'll, you know, make them do it. I'm still here. They can swing for 7 now, so I think that just kills us because they can flash back a... Five, 6, 7. They need to find... Oh, they got the phoenixes. Okay, we died. Yeah, we drew the Belcher after I burnt my my Dark Ritual. I think we had to cast it there, though. I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one. I definitely want the Soul Guide Lanterns. I don't care as much about the individual removal spells. I think on the play I even like I don't think the removal spells are even that good for us, really. Something like that, I guess. Let's try that. I feel like if they get going, then we're just in trouble. It's a keep. That's a risky one. So we can go 3. We can play our Belcher. No, I think we want to. I think we want to slow this one slightly. I'm gonna play this slightly slower. Gonna get these into play, make sure they don't do something crazy on their turn. We can do Dark Ritual, Inquisition, Belcher next turn. And then we've got 3 mana to activate the Belcher. No play is interesting. Don't know what that means. Dark Ritual. Alright, let's see what they're working with. Cathartic Reunion is discard 2 cards, draw 3 cards. They've got no blues. I don't care about that one. I think I'm more worried about this one. Just because they'll have 1 mana open to play with after using the other one. Oh, I forgot to... I don't think it matters, but I should have played the Revitalizing Repast. I just forgot. Yep. They got like a 1 mana destroy artifact red. That's kind of what it has to be. I took the Faithless Looting because that cuts off like the 2 mana options, like a Braid and stuff. They have to try and kill us through double Soul Guide Lantern 2 here, which is kind of tough. Yep. Okay, game 3. I don't like the Broncos against there. I'm not sure what hate they're bringing in. I'm not 100% sure on my sideboarding plan here. Like, they've got like the Arclight Phoenixes, so these do something. Sort of. Ugh. Got our Soul Guides down there. I think this is okay. Let's try that. Let's get a Soul Ring again. I like the Soul Ring. I think off the back of the Soul Guide Lantern we'll keep it. I think. Ugh. Doesn't do a ton. I think off the back of the Soul Guide I'm gonna keep it, but I don't like our I don't love it for sure. We need help. So, our opponent Did not put anything that scary into the graveyard. Now that might be bait, but I am going to take the bait if it is bait and just play a land and pass. Okay. I'd really like to get some sort of attack going. That is not much of an attack. Our opponent doesn't have a very aggressive start, so I'm just going to play this. Then we can start trying to do other stuff next turn. They can blow up BELCHER with the Ancient Grudges, which is kind of scary. I ordered food, and this match is taking longer than expected. I'm going to have to go grab my food in a second. Just want to get this down. I think we want to take the looting. Yeah, I forgot about that actually. That was a little silly. Oh, I forgot to play my... Alright, I'm distracted by my food. I apologize. I'm not playing well. That was dumb. That was just very silly. That's a good one. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. We are getting attacked. That's okay. What happened to our... talisman here? Let's see. Yes, we're going to flip our Jecht. We're going to cast Boggart Trawler and exile their graveyard. GG. Alright, good game. And apologies for the delay going and getting my food there. Alright, see you next round. Alright, here we go. We will keep that. Let's get this one down. Little worry about counter spells. They're just going blue up. It's interesting. How do we sequence this? So I want to Inquisition. Kind of want to. Wait, no. Oh, hit the wrong shit. I clicked the wrong card. That was really bad. That was terrible. Anyway. Alright, well, that was a misclick. I was thinking and clicked the wrong black card, but it's okay. Would have got countered anyway. Maybe this is actually better then. Yeah. Cannot Abrupt Decay that, which is a little annoying. See if this resolves first. Okay. Repast. We're going to draw more cards here. We can't Abrupt Decay, which is interesting. Bad interesting, but interesting. Probably just going to run away with this one on card advantage. That's going to kill our guy. Really want them to tap out. I don't think they're going to, but that's the goal here. Yeah, push it. Oh, they got another one? Ooh, that's bad. They drew 4 cards. Okay, we're super dead. And there's no... They're going to draw even more cards. I think we just have to jam this. This is our last chance here. And I have... almost certainly they have a counterspell, but you know, there is a world where they just have a, you know, don't have a spell piercer, you know exactly what they need. So now they probably have a bounce spell since they didn't counter it, but you got to play to your outs here, right? Let's see what they got. They need a bounce spell. Two top is a bad sign. That means they can bounce it. For sure. There's no reason to put 2 cards on top if they... Oh, they might have a stifle effect. That could do it too. A stifle effect would work. Either a bounce spell or a stifle effect. It has to be a stifle effect now. Alright, let's see their stifle effect. Okay, no stifle effect. I'm a little confused. Maybe they just didn't have any way. Maybe they just kept the 2 on top because they were like aggressive and they just didn't have any way to deal with the Resolve Belcher. And their hand, I guess, was oh, they just didn't know. Okay, well that's fine. They just didn't. They're not familiar with the Goblin Charbelcher combo. So they just weren't expecting it. That's fine. All right, well that makes more sense now. We probably got away with that one just because they weren't super familiar with the combo. Yeah, okay. We got away with one there. We'll bring in our Duresses. Let's take out. The Abrupt Decay didn't look amazing, so let's go down to 2 there. They still have uses, but not as much as I would like. And we've got the Bloodchiefs there, so we'll keep those in for the early creatures. Doesn't actually take the fairy counter. Let's try that. No creature on turn 1 is quite good for us. That means they've got a slower start. Strix, sure. Could use a removal spell, the ones that I took out of my deck. Fatal push, lose focus. We'll take the lose focus. Which one did we see? Island. Yep. Nothing we can do about that. We can jam the Belcher right now. If we take another 3. The Spellsputter Sprite can't hit us right now. They've got 1 unknown in hand. It's not the most fun play, but I think we just jam the Belcher right now. Well, they've only got 1 unknown card in hand and it can't get hit by the Sprite. Alright, so let's see what they got here. We can't do anything on their turn. They put in the Sprite. 0 bottom, 0 top, 2 bottom. They're digging. I need a bounce spell. And they should use it now. They do find one. Mm-hmm. I don't like putting GG etiquette's complicated. Let's see. Alright, that was fun. We got to do our thing. Opponent's on a pretty cool deck with the fairies. Alright. Alright, so that was a lot of fun. I played 3 games, and that's all I played with this deck. I played 3 games. Recorded them, and we did win all of them, which was very cool. It's always very fun to brew a deck and put something together and get a bunch of wins right away. It's very, it's very fun. Obviously, there's a good amount of luck involved, as you can see if you watch the games. A lot of them were very close, and some of them could have gone either way, depending on things. But it was nice when things go in your favor after you brew. So that was pretty cool. Had fun there. I have noticed that that the deck has gone up in price quite a bit, though. So between when I started the playing this, and I played it over like a number of days, and now when I played 3 matches, the prices have gone up quite a bit. So at the moment, this deck isn't legal. It was when I started the game, obviously. If you go to the match, you go to the intro, you look at the screenshot there, you can see it was like $29.60, but now it's like a few dollars extra. So we gotta wait to play more of this and tune it for prices to come down, I guess. The big one is Dark Ritual. I think that went up like 50 cents or something. Maybe it was just for the day. Maybe it'll go back down after, But if it does, then that's a bit of a problem. Some of the cards went up a little bit too. It doesn't take much to put it over the top. So I really like that. I think there's other ways to build this style of deck too. Obviously Dark Ritual is the perfect card to pair here, but like any sort of ramp does work. So like Mana Dorks in green, more artifact mana. So like you can play this in any color. I have, mono black, mono white. I played mono red Belcher decks in like normal vintage. Mono blue Belcher is like a modern deck. I think you do want to play it with some sort of mana excel, and like there is like some of that does exist in red too, and green and black. There are cheaper kind of ritual-ish effects out there. Like I think Reign of Filth is one. I don't know how much any of these cost. I'd have to check, but there's other rampy kind of things. Red's got a bunch of rituals you can ritual into this, like Pyretic Ritual and Rite of Flame and stuff. Again, I have no idea what the dollar value of those are off the top of my head, but these are things I'd be thinking of. Elves maybe you could do like an elves version with, elvish, the green elves that make mana. I don't know. There's a lot of room to play here. The modal double phase cards have made it so that like an actual deck that also just happens to play Belcher because you're playing the MDFCs is viable. I think that's just really cool space for me. And I messed around with this in normal vintage quite a bit, this like idea. And I'm happy that it kind of works in value vintage, even though we seem to be priced out at the moment. But I think if we cut the Dark Rituals and focus on a different direction, then we can try some stuff there. Alright, any ideas, let me know. Like and subscribe for the algorithm and growth here. I like to play more value vintage. It's a lot of fun. Just want to ideally get some more support there, and then throw a comment down below. All that's appreciated. Thank you.